Walk 1,000 miles through the burning sand, wipe the blood away. I was definitely in a David Allan Coe mode when I wrote If That's Country. I was over at my grandma's house for Sunday dinner, and my sister-in-law was watching CMT and was watching a Kenny Chesney documentary. And I'm a Kenny Chesney fan. I was watching it, but I just didn't like it. It felt contrived and disingenuous. And when I got back to my house, I started thinking to myself, you know, what would David Allan Coe do? And so I wrote a song called If That's Country, which is just a parody on his song If That Ain't Country. And I ended up putting it on a record at the time, not thinking anybody was going to hear it. I just sold records to my friends and family. And now, you know, it's sort of become a staple at the show. Although I leave out the second verse now. I feel like now that I've got some experience under my belt and know a little bit more about the world and about country music, I felt like I really missed the mark on busting on Kenny Chesney on the version that was on the record and busting on CMT. I found out Kenny Chesney is actually a really nice guy. Everybody has great things to say about him and has a sense of humor. So out of respect to him, I don't play it. And CMT, oddly enough, has been great to me. They're one of the few outlets that has been all about getting my music out to people and posting videos, you know, on the channel and on their website, even though I'm not a mainstream act. So I had to sort of eat my words in that song. David Allan Coe probably thinks that's a chicken shit thing to do, but I'm just being honest, you know, that's the way I feel now. So, would you lay with me in a field of stone? When I was a teenager staying with my dad, our living room at the house was more like a tavern. We didn't have a sofa or a TV in there. We had a big pool table with a Budweiser light hanging over the top of it, and neon signs on the wall, and a dartboard, and this old antique Coke machine that my dad, he kept full of beer. And of course there was a stereo, so when my dad and his buddies were shooting pool, they would listen to stuff like George Jones and Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings, and of course David Allan Coe. When I was old enough to drive, I stole my dad's David Allan Coe record. You know, those songs really stuck to me. He of course has songs like Call Me By My Name or Take This Job and Shove It, or If That Ain't Country, that are really well known. They're fun songs. There's also songs like Please Come to Boston and Would You Lay With Me, which are really sensitive songs that have a lot of poetry in them. Would you bathe with me in the stream of life when the moon is full? Would you bathe with me? I got a chance to go see him live when I was in college at the Georgia Theater in Athens, and when he walked out there and started singing, it just impressed me so much how real it seemed, how genuine it was. I could tell he wasn't mailing it in, he wasn't faking it. He was singing about his life. He was singing about the stuff that mattered to him. You know, I don't set out to make people mad. I don't think of myself as nearly abrasive as a guy like David Allan Coe, but I hope I'm as transparent as he is. I hope I'm as authentic as he is. And like him, at the end of the day, I would rather fail at making music my way than succeed at making it somebody else's way. Would you lay with me